Hello, my name is Professor John Benjamin, and this is West Virginia Wesleyan College, and you're watching TV broadcasting. I'm going to show you today how to operate the camera switcher. All right, so let's begin. So when you first sit down in the control room as the technical director, first thing you'll do is you'll switch the large red button on the switcher rack to turn on the equipment. Next thing you'll do is open up the computer and turn on the ATEM software control right here. And that will connect the computer to the switcher. Next thing, you'll click on and open OBS, or Open Broadcast Software. And there you are. Next thing you'll do is you'll connect your headset so you can talk to the camera operator. Make sure that the transmitter is on and that they can hear you. Ask if they can hear you, tapping your ear, and then give a thumbs up, and ask them to give a thumbs up. So when you're about to begin, you're going to start with the bug, and then you're going to go ahead and hit Start Recording. You'll also hit Start Streaming. You'll at that moment tell the camera operator to give the anchors the signal, the hand signal for standby. Then you'll go ahead and you'll play the intro by clicking over here on the source selected. Then you'll tell the camera operator to give the signal to the anchors that they're on air as you switch to the cameras. Now here are your cameras. We have 3 cameras typically. For this illustration, camera 3 is not operating currently. So we have camera 1 in the blue, camera 2 in the red, and then camera 3, which will typically be a 2-shot where we can see both anchors at the same time. To fade between, we will go ahead and set up a preview. So if you want to move, let's say this would be a good example of a 2-shot, but camera 3 will be farther back. And so if you want to fade between camera 1 and camera 2, you'd simply select the camera that you want to fade to. So in this case, we're currently showing blue is hot. I'm going to select red. In the preview, red will show up over in your monitor, and then go ahead and hit auto, and then it will fade from red to blue. But you're perfectly welcome to just switch from red to blue as well, and from red to blue to camera 3. So the first thing you'll tell your camera operator to do is as soon as they give the signal to the anchors that they're live by pointing, they will activate the teleprompter for anchor 1. Anchor 1 will begin reading from the teleprompter, and then when you get to the portion of the newscast, the anchor 1 is about to introduce that reporter footage, then you'll go ahead and you'll cue it up. We'll go here and we'll switch to studio mode. And so here you're from cameras, and we're going to cue up reel 1. So that's what's going to cue up over there, and then you're going to go ahead and fade to reel 1. Reel 1 will play. This will be the reporter footage. And then when you're ready to go back to cameras, they should already be queued up, but if they're not, you'll select it here. And then you'll fade back to anchor 1. Now when anchor 1 is finished with their news report, you're going to switch cameras. I'm going to go ahead and hit auto and switch to the other anchor number 2 and indicate to the camera operator to activate the teleprompter by tapping it for anchor number 2. When anchor number 2 leads up to and is about to introduce the video report, then you'll cue that up here. And then as soon as they introduce it, we'll have a small pause, and then you'll fade to the next newsreel. Right, and then this should already be queued up. And at this point, you'll switch to camera 3, which should be the 2-shot, something like this. And both reporters will say goodnight. And once they do, you will select the end sequence and cue that up by hitting fade. And then simply cue up the bug, fade to the bug, and then hit stop streaming and stop recording. Now, when you typically sit down to get as the technical director, the newsreels, you'll just receive them. So how do we add a new newsreel? Well, if there's already 2 newsreels here, then you can go ahead and just simply select one. And then over here it'll say Media Source and Sources. You double click on that, and here's where you'll browse to find that MP4 that was prepared ahead of time by the reporters. So simply navigate to where that's put. We should put it in the TV broadcasting files, and there should be a folder here for that week's newsreels. Go ahead and select that, and then hit OK, and that'll be loaded into the newsreel. Now, if you have more than 2 newsreels, simply hit the plus sign here, type in newsreel 3, hit OK, and you'll want to put the newsreel before the end sequence, and then simply go ahead here and then hit the plus sign, and you're going to select media source because it is a media source. Now, if you wanted to add a different camera or an audio source or text, you can select any of those here as well. You can put text in front of the reporters if you want, doing a lower third. There's a lot of options here. But typically what you're going to do is you're going to load, and that's it. And if you need to add any others, you can add a new scene here, and then like the news bug, for instance, here's the logo, you would just simply add a new image. And that's how you operate the switcher control, so you can control between the cameras and then talk to the camera operator, so the camera operator can turn on or pause the teleprompters and give signals to the anchors. All right, thanks and good luck.